Hello everyone and welcome back to our Automation Edge training. Quick question. How many of you remember what we covered in the last session? That's right. In part 1 of our database use case, we worked with product data, creating connections, reading details from Excel, inserting them into a master database, and verifying data with a table input. If you haven't watched the earlier videos, I suggest checking them out first. They'll give you the foundation you need. Now let's zoom out to the bigger picture. We're building a mini order management system for SwiftMart. The goal is to manage product inventory, process sales orders, and keep everything updated in real time. In this part 2, we'll focus on sales order data, checking stock availability, dynamically updating inventory, and ensuring order statuses are accurate in the database. By the end of this session, you'll see how these steps help maintain a smooth order management system, and you'll be able to apply the same logic in your own automation projects. So, are you ready? Let's get started. So, let me ask you this. What really happens when a customer places an order? First, the system quickly checks, is the product available? If stock is available, the order gets confirmed and the inventory count goes down. If stock is insufficient, the order is politely declined. Simple logic, but powerful in action. And that's exactly what we're going to build in part 2 of our use case. Here's the plan. Read sales orders from a CSV file. Validate each order against the available inventory. Update the order status as either placed or declined. And in the background, our workflow will automatically update product quantities in the database. This means whether it's a brand new order or an existing one, the data stays accurate, reliable, and up to date. In short, this workflow shows how businesses like SwiftMart can seamlessly manage products, process sales orders, and keep inventory in sync, making operations smooth and error-free. That's exactly what we're going to implement here. 1. First, we'll read the sales order data from an input CSV file. 2. Then, we'll use the database lookup step to fetch product details from the database. Now tell me, why do we need this step? Because we must compare ordered quantity with available stock using the product ID. Once we merge the two data sets, we'll check if the ordered quantity is less than or equal to available stock. We'll mark the order as order placed and insert it into the orders table. If the ordered quantity greater than available stock, we'll mark it as order declined insufficient quantity. Using formula step. We'll use a formula step to compute the comparison, then filter rows to branch logic. For successful orders, we'll update inventory, compute new stock equal to available stock minus ordered quantity with calculator, then write it back using insert or update on the product table. Finally, let's use the table output step to store the accurate order status in the order details table. At the last step, we will also save the placed order details into the same table. Now that we have refreshed the basics, let's roll up our sleeves and build the workflow step by step. But before we dive in, let's take a quick look at the product table in our database. This will help us confirm the existing product details and available stock, so we know exactly what we're working with. As you can see, we already have a workflow open with the name WF Sales Order Management. First, we'll bring in sales order data from a CSV file using the CSV file input step. Let's drag and drop the CSV input step onto the canvas, double-click to configure it, and rename it as INF Sales Order Data. Next, we'll browse and select our sales order file. Once that's done, we'll click on the Get Fields button to load all the fields from the file into our workflow. Easy, right? Now, here comes the interesting part. We need to fetch product details from the database so we can compare them with the order data. For that, we'll use the Database Lookup step. Let's search for Database Lookup in the Plugin Explorer, drag it onto the canvas, and rename it as INF Product Data. Let's select the shared database connection we created earlier, browse to choose the lookup schema, and then select the product table. Next, let's configure the key fields. Since the product ID is the common key between our sales order and product table, we'll keep that as the key field and remove the rest. Finally, let's bring in the fields we actually need from the product table by clicking Get Lookup Fields. We'll keep quantity, name, and unit price, but remove the product ID since we already have it. Also, let's rename the quantity as database Q to Y. Once that's set, click OK to save the configuration. Now, let's add a formula step to check whether the ordered quantity is less than or equal to available stock. We'll rename this step as order status. In the result field name, type status. Click on formula, and now it's time to write our if condition. Need help? No problem. On the left menu, expand logical and click on if. You'll see the syntax, description, and even examples on the right side. Let's build our expression. Start with if round break it. From the Get Fields or var dropdown, select Sales Order Quantity. Click Use. Add the less than or equal to symbol. Then select Database Quantity, click Use. Add a semicolon. For the true case, write Order Place. For the false case, write Order Declined, insufficient quantity. Close the bracket and click OK. Finally, set the data type as string. Click OK again. Next, let's separate the orders based on their status. For this, we'll add a filter rows step and set the condition as status equal to order place. For the successful orders, add a calculator step. Create a new field called New Stock. Select calculation as A minus B. For A, pick database quantity. For B, pick ordered quantity. Set the data type as integer. Click OK. For updating the product table, add an insert or update step to the canvas. Choose the shared database connection and browse. Select target schema as public. Select lookup table as product. Click Get Fields. Keep only product key as lookup. Delete the rest. Click Get Update Fields. Keep only database quantity as table field and stream field as new stock. Set update value as Y and remove the rest. Click OK. For the declined orders, add a table output step. Configure it with the shared connection. Schema as public, table as order details. Check Specify Database Fields. In the Database Fields tab, click Get Fields. Keep sales order quantity only. Remove database quantity and unit price. Click OK. Finally, don't forget, we also need to add the placed order details into the order table. So, connect the calculator step output to a table output step. When prompted, select Copy. Now, let's go ahead and execute the workflow. Great. The workflow has executed successfully. Next, let's switch to the database and verify the results. As you can see, the product table now reflects the updated quantities, and at the same time, the order details table has the newly added order records. This confirms that our workflow is working end-to-end, updating inventory, managing orders, and keeping our data accurate. That's it for part 2. You now know how to process sales orders, update inventory, and maintain accurate records automatically. Try it out yourself, because practice is the key to mastering these skills. See you in the next session. Thank you for watching. For any query, visit community.automationedge.com. Keep learning, keep exploring, and have a great day.